Welcome back to Sports Federation TV, the show where we chat about all codes of sport, brought to you by the Western Cape Provincial Sport Confederation and members of SASCOC. My name is Alton Davids. We shift our focus to Majorettes. Tanisha, how are you?
I am fine, thank you.
Good. Marvin? You're
Well,
good?
thanks. Can't complain.
Good, good, good. Give us a helicopter view of what Majorettes do, or who are you, what do you do?
Tanisha?
I am Tanisha Parker. I am representing Cheerleading today, as well as Western Province Majorette and Cheerleading Association. Majorettes is a group of girls that do a routine such as non-prop, flag group, mace group, baton, small drill and large drill.
Sure, it's a big combination, Tanisha.
Yes.
How do you manage to fit all of that in?
It's practice, like we just work very, very hard to get there.
So explain the dynamics of the sport. You put on this fluffy, sequency clothing with white boots and a cap, nah?
That's the perks of it,
Is
yes.
that the perk?
Yes.
You get to dress up.
Yes.
And the hard work behind it to get to that point?
Like we work like from 9 o'clock in the morning to like 4 in the afternoon on Saturday. During the week it's like 5 till 8. So it's like a lot of hours and you must be committed to do the sport.
How do you manage this being in matric?
I just, you have a time for everything, so you must just prioritize properly. And
It's a lot of hard work though, my dear.
yes.
Sure. Marvin, how do you fit into all of this?
I am an adjudicator in Western Province. I've represented our province at nationals as a national adjudicator, and obviously I've represented our country at the international competition last year at Grand West Arena.
So what is your role? Do you stand there and make sure that they throw this baton up correctly and catch it correctly in the right sequences, all synchronized and all of this kind of things?
It's a bit more complicated than just that.
Okay, give us
If
a
it was
helicopter
that
view.
simple, anybody could have done that.
Oh, so it's only for technical, clever people, Tanisha.
Yeah.
You hear
I'm not
this?
saying it's
Yeah.
open for
You hear this?
everybody, it's open for everybody.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that we have various score sheets, and at the moment we've got 3 people per score sheet. So we've got artistic impression. On that score sheet we look at formations, we look at audio, we look at use of area, and we look at the manner of presentation.
Okay.
That's a score sheet that we have deemed as the coach's score sheet. So what other coach want to portray the story that the girls are performing with the audio and the movements and the formations. That's when the adjudicator actually looks at the coach and what their input was in this whole display that they've put together.
Does the choice of music have anything to do with it? So let's say you choose a rock and roll song, I as the coach for her team, and you adjudicating. Does it make a difference to whether I play a love song? Because I've often wondered that question. Because you come to different sporting codes, like we had earlier gymnastics, she said it's related to the mood and the personality of the person. Now you have a team of how many people, Tanisha?
Like, don't have a limit.
No limit.
No limit.
So how do you
large drill.
choose?
In national, in small drill, the limit is 35.
No, we get that.
So-
but in terms of that, does you as a judge, does the music influence your decision or how do you judge the music to the movement? Because I've often wondered that question myself.
So there's a category in audio. So there's a section called audio interpretation,
Okay.
which means whether it's a love song, whether it's a rock song, depends on the movements. If it's a loud rock song with big bangs, the flags do this huge
Okay.
gestures,
I'm with you.
which interprets the audio in that manner. Then you get highs and lows in audio. You listen to the rhythm, you listen to the beats. So you can't be, if I don't like rock and roll, I can't punish Tanisha's team.
For sure.
I've got to give credit where it's due, the interpretation of the audio and how it blends in with the formations as well. So it's quite a complex score sheet, and it's something that I think you have to really be invested as an adjudicator to be able to appreciate what the coaches put out there. And believe me, there is frustration. There is. But we try and get it right
Yeah.
as best we can as adjudicators. And that is what we actually implementing this season in the Western Cape, where I've encouraged our coaches to come to seminars, and I would like a coach to sit on the panel and judge with the rest and give their insight.
Yeah.
And obviously we'll be the objective side of things. We need to bridge that gap between coaches and officials. And I think once we get that right, the sport can only grow in a positive manner.
Definitely. Because then the coaches see what the judges see and be able to take you as an athlete to the next level.
That's correct. It is about the athlete at the end of the day.
Absolutely. We're not here for our own egos and our own health.
Correct.
We're here for your health. So talk about your health, life other than majorettes and marching and a matric, boyfriends and everything else. When
No
do you have time?
boyfriends, no
No
boyfriends.
boyfriends?
I do have a social life, but my life is drummies. This is all I'm about.
So when you walk into JG meeting on a Monday morning, does the principal say, well done to the team that won a trophy, or
He gives us
is there recognition at schools for your sport?
Yes, he gives us credit, like he makes announcements about it.
And how does that make you feel?
Proud to be involved with a sport that I actually get recognition for.
And your friends in your class, don't they think you're crazy to be standing on a field throwing up a little stick and jumping and doing all kinds of crazy things?
Yes, they do. I always get that question, why are you doing this? I tell them it's because I love doing the sport. I really do.
In terms of, is there adult participation in this sport, or is it only for school kids? Because I don't see adults in, I can't see in my head an adult walking and throwing a baton and catching it and stepping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, no?
There is
Is it?
adults, yes, a tertiary team.
Okay, but nobody my age. No. Am I too old?
I think you're a bit too old.
Just because I have no head doesn't mean I'm old. So, is there no, Marvin, is there no way that we could look at growing the sport to adults? Or is that not what the sport is about?
So tertiary is like an open section at
Okay.
at the old high school.
Right.
When you used to run, you used to run your athletics and you get this guy with a beer.
Yes.
Can you still be running?
Yes, yes.
So open, tertiary is like an open section. I know for the fact that there was a 50-year-old guy doing cheerleading at nationals.
Sure.
So
10 points to him.
yes. So the age is not a factor. The factor is, can your body handle the intense training and
Look, I mean, you can train your body to do anything.
that's also true.
But it's about creating the opportunity to grow.
Correct.
Because the last thing people want to see is you spend so much time doing it and you go nowhere. Post school, post matric, post university, where we could go be representing. And part of it, if I remember correctly, the conversation with dancing and other codes of sport is a lot of your people go into their sport because
That's
they
correct.
offer longevity, which is a pity. But how do we then, conversationally, we need to be thinking in terms of how do we grow it at SAMCA level?
So Baton currently has a tertiary section which competes internationally as well. So there are a few girls that are in their 40s and 30s that are competing for South Africa.
With the white boots and everything?
Yes.
With the white boots and everything.
I'm impressed.
Yes.
I'm impressed. When's your next competition, ma'am?
Our first competition is actually at Hottentots Holland on Saturday, and it starts at 9.
Saturday the 22nd
Yes, it is.
at 9 o'clock.
That's correct.
Hottentots Holland. Out in Somerset West.
That's
Yes.
correct.
Those of you who are in that area tomorrow morning, go check it out. You'll see lots of ladies, youngsters, school teams throwing batons, marching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
7, 8.
skip 8. Ne? Am I right? I got it. Got a little bit of rhythm. Tanisha, thank you for your time. Marvin, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Alpha.
Come back in a couple of weeks' time and come tell us some more stories about how the sport has changed your lives.
We definitely will.
Thank you
Thanks for
very
having
much.
us.
You're welcome. Let's take an ad break. We'll see you now.